When a pivot table is first created, it decides the order to display the data in. However, we like to be in more control than that, and we can. We can sort the data either by the labels or by the actual values. So if we take the employees multiple pivot report, we have a number of pivot tables that we can control. Now, to change the sort order for a given table, we click into our pivot table. So let's pick on this one here. This is in the original sort order given to us by the pivot table creation. So we see personnel, sales, warehousing, accounts, clerical, finance, operations. Appears to be no discernible alphabetical order at all, and it's not controlled by the total values here. If we want to control the sort order, we simply go to the little drop down arrow here at the top where it says row labels, and we can choose either sort A to Z, and we see we then get accounts through to warehousing, or we can sort by Z to A, and then we get the blank first, and then warehousing through to accounts. So that will work in any pivot table. This one here, Z to A, and we get our marital status in reverse order. And this one here, Z to A, and we get our departments in reverse order. Now we get exactly the same option by clicking into a pivot table, going to the home ribbon and choosing the sort and filter option where we can see sort A to Z and sort Z to A. And that will affect the pivot table we are currently in, so the active pivot table. Z to A, that one goes backwards, A to Z, it goes forwards. Now if we want to sort by the actual values here in the middle, so that's got the count of ID, this is the sum of the salaries, broken down by marital status and by department. We might want to sort by these values, so let's start over here with the row labels. Now initially there's only an A to Z or a Z to A, but then we could choose more sort options. And in the more sort options, which are accessed from the little drop down here, or alternatively from the sort and filter option, custom sort, brings us into exactly the same dialog box. Here we can see the option for A to Z and Z to A, but instead of just choosing department, we can choose, in this case, count of ID, which is the values in the sum area. So that's OK. And then now in count of ID order, ascending, so the lowest to the highest. If we want them the other way around, more sort options, descending by count of ID, OK. And there we see that the sales department has the most people in it, followed closely by operations. Now if we do the same with our sin, mar, div, etc., then we could use more sort options. Let's sort descending by count of ID, OK. And then we get the 47 single people at the top of the list because there's more of those. On our slightly bigger table here, which has rows and columns, we've already sorted the rows descending, so let's go ascending to prove that that works. And we can sort the columns as well the same way. We've got a little drop down and we can go to A to Z there. So there we go, div, mar, sin. Now if we want to sort by the salary values, we go into more sort options, descending by sum of salary, OK. And there you see the operations comes at the top because they have effectively the largest grand total, but within each list they are not. So in the divorce sector, they're not the largest total, but the grand total is the biggest, so therefore all the values must be across the top. More sort options, ascending sum of salary, and then the blank is across the top, then accounts because they're the lowest, and then building up to operations at the bottom this time. So if we do that with the column labels, more sort options, you can see we can do the sum of salary in here as well. And then that sorts things horizontally also. So not only have we sorted things vertically, so operations at the bottom because they're the biggest department salary-wise, and then married is the largest earning marital status, so they're at the right because they're sorted smallest to largest. We could go the other way. And the same with the row labels. So you're sorting the columns and the rows fairly independently of each other, but obviously there's that knock-on effect. But now we've got married operations as the total largest status and department in the top left-hand corner. So we're able to sort by the labels, both the row labels and the column labels, and we're also able to sort by the internal values effectively, whether that's on a simple pivot table with a single set of rows or on a slightly more complicated one with rows and columns. We can still sort by the internal values, either descending those values or ascending those values.